Um, Back for another tabletop. My tabletop or my video camera's gone, so I'm basically limited to tabletops on the webcam. So sorry about that, but I don't mind them that much. So today we're gonna do the Mora Classic #2. This is modded to hell and back, so I can't really do first impressions of it. I can only show you what I've done to it. So first of all, you're going to notice probably the fire steel because it's bright red. What I did was I just took one of the retention snaps from another sheath and I looped it through the belt loop and in the front, so now I can just unsnap this and get my fire steel off. This sheath, obviously not the sheath it came with. I'm not a huge fan of Mora sheaths, but I got this sheath for it. Excuse me. I do feel guilty though, because I really doubt you're going to be able to read that. No, you can't. But basically, this is a Martini fillet knife sheath. The 14-inch fillet knife. And I feel guilty because Martini is Mora's competitor. So I'm wearing a Mora and a Martini sheath. But basically, this fits it perfect. Right here is where the guard stops. And that's where the natural swell is in the leather. From where they molded it to the fillet knife. So this just fits perfect in there. I just ran some paracord through the belt loop so I can wear it as a neck knife. Nothing special about the sheath. It came this weird like light color, so I just put some leather dye on it and I dyed it a darker color. So that's just the sheath and the fire steel. Here's the actual Mora. Like I said, it's modded badly, so I'll just go ahead and go over what I did to it. Everyone knows of these knives. I can't say too much. I already did a video on the Bushcraft Black and all that other stuff, so everyone knows about Moras and their quality. So anyways, like I was saying, everybody knows the quality of a Mora. You can't really beat a Mora for the price. One thing that kind of surprised me, to be honest, on this particular model of Mora, I thought the tang on the classic #2 would stop about right here, somewhere in here. But I just got this this super magnet, and it's really strong. But see, that's still all tang. That's on the tang. The thing that surprised me is if you keep going down, the tang stops right there. That is a pretty long tang for this wooden Mora. I'm surprised, actually. It was a pleasant surprise when I found it out. Probably another two big features you're going to notice that I did. I put like this grooved pattern in the handle. I don't know, I've just been calling it like the rock pattern because you get a good grip, but the way I did it is I made it to where it's not too aggressive, it's going to hurt your hand. And it looks really cool. Another thing you're probably going to notice I did was I sanded the red off and stained it ebony. And then I drilled a hole and I put two grommets in there. And I Loctited them in there so I have a lanyard hole if I want it. I'll never use it. Ground down the spine to make it 90 degrees and put these notches in here so it strikes the fire steel superiorly to any other spine that I have. Like I was talking about it with that fillet knife, this is what it was. I chopped it down, made it into like a little utility like carving knife thing. I don't know. I just made it like a small little sheath. Okay. Here's the original sheath, if I didn't mention. Nothing special. It obviously doesn't fit tight in there now because I did all the work to the handle, but it wasn't that great anyways. If for some reason you decide you can't, if you're on a super tight budget and you can't afford this Mora, for whatever reason, anyone should be able to afford this Mora. I think it was like $11 on Amazon, something like that. Some other options, I guess, if you can't afford this, which I really doubt. But both these knives were $5. I got this one at Gander Mountain. It's another Martini. Rapella is a offshoot of Martini, and it's a bait knife. We All Juggle Knives just did a video on this. I was about to do a video on this about how it was an inexpensive Mora, but he beat me to it. So good job on him. It has this simple cover. It's not really a sheath. The thing that I found interesting is that it had these serrations. That intrigued me for some reason because it's just basically a Mora with serrations on the spine. The tang on this one stops right here though. That's the sad part. Stops here. And I did try and baton a really thick log, and I'm not blaming the knife for this because it's my fault. I don't know if you're going to be able to see that, but I doubt it. The blade is bent, but that's my fault. It's not the fault of the knife. Tried to baton a log. It was probably that big with it just to see what would happen. Another great option is this mossy oak parrying knife. Clearly this is meant as a kitchen knife, but for like a light carving knife, I wouldn't baton anything with this. For like a light carving knife, it's pretty good. I've been carving all day with it. Carved out the spoon with it, so it's pretty good. The thickness compared to the others, there's all the thicknesses. The Mora is by far the thickest. Next would be the Martini. This mossy oak's pretty thin. It's actually flexible. The tang on this one, it like stops right here, I think. That's what I'm going to guess. Yeah, it looks like it stops about right here. So, that's another great option. It's obviously not going to be as durable, but you can't beat it. For $5 for these two, they're great options if you don't want the Mora, but why not just pay the extra money and get the Mora? You know it's quality, it's Swedish steel, some of the best steel around, so that was the Mora. Great inexpensive bushcraft knife. I recommend everyone owns a Mora at least at some point in their life. So thanks again. This has been Ryan with Common Man Survival Guide.